Okay, kids, April is almost over, so that means it's the perfect time to talk about last year. I'll have my list of the worst films that I saw, but before that, I'll briefly go over some that I really enjoyed. Now, I don't have as much time to see movies as I used to, and I live in sort of a rural area, so if you think that there should be a movie on these lists that isn't, either I haven't seen it, or you just have bad taste. My favorite movie from 2021 was Pig. I heard that this movie was about Nicolas Cage looking for his kidnapped pig, and I was expecting some kind of a violent revenge movie, but it actually turned out to be a beautiful and emotional story of empathy and forgiveness. Cage gives one of his best performances of his career as a loner named Rob who embraces the temporary nature of life and changes those around him with his unique worldview. I knew you still had it in you, Nick. Well done. On the blockbuster side of things, I also really enjoyed James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. This is the best comic book movie in over a decade, and it earns that title by being ridiculously over the top and reveling in the goofiness of its source material. The first film was bland and boring and self-conscious. This sequel absolutely nails the tone, resulting in a very creative and very funny romp. Another film I enjoyed was Ridley Scott's The Last Duel. This is Scott's best film since a long time. Let's say that. Matt Damon and Adam Driver gave wonderful performances, and so did Ben Affleck to a lesser extent. Don't listen to those Razzies jokers. And Jodie Comer, I hadn't seen in a movie before this, but she's one to look out for. This was a satisfying movie for adults, with great dramatic stakes that all ends in the most exciting action scene of the year. Alright, now here's what you came for. We're counting down the worst movies of 2021. Here we go. Number 10, The Matrix Resurrections. This is the first of many reboots on this list. This one is unique in that it spends the entire first half making meta-commentary on how stupid reboots are. But then it just becomes your standard tired reboot. Telling the audience yourself that you have no ideas doesn't excuse it. Just don't make the stupid movie. There was one fun motorcycle chase sequence, but the word of the day with this one is uninspired. Number 9, Ghostbusters Afterlife. The original Ghostbusters I would describe as a very solid comedy film with a unique premise and one of the best casts ever assembled. It's sarcastic, it's light, you laugh, and it's over. So why, Hollywood, did we make a sequel so disgustingly sentimental and nostalgic? I felt like I was watching Super 8 and not Ghostbusters. They reference the original so much that's grating, so I know they've seen it. How did they get the tone so wrong? Number 8, Cosmic Sin. No comment. Number 7, Old. M. Night Shyamalan is back to making confoundingly terrible movies again. I'll give him this though, no other director would feature a rapper character named Mid-Size Sedan, a woman with spine problems morphing into a spider lady, kids talking about mortgages, and Big Pharma being behind it all in one movie. You get a lot of terrible for one ticket, that's for sure. Number 6, Out of Death. No comment. Number 5, Dinosaur Hotel. Tiny budget riff on Jurassic Park. You watch a movie like this to see if it hits that so bad's good spot. Not really, it's just cheap and lame. Number 4, Space Jam: A New Legacy. This is the third reboot / nostalgia sequel that made it onto this list, and Halloween Kills barely didn't make the cut. It's annoying and it's reference heavy, but hey, it's for kids. I probably shouldn't have even watched it. Number 3, Safer at Home. Now that the plague restrictions are over, even in the nanniest of states around the world, sorry China, we're going to look back at the pandemic movies and cringe. Safer at Home is a pretty embarrassing panic movie in which the virus has mutated so aggressively that anyone who gets it basically dies. This movie is made much, much worse by the fact that it's presented as one long Zoom call. We already have Unfriended. There's no reason to try this format ever again because it's uncinematic and also bad. This would have been higher on the list except that it's just barely over an hour long. Number 2, Chaos Walking. A good title but a terrible premise. Chaos Walking is about a world in which the thoughts of all men are spoken out loud by some force that attaches themselves to them. It kinda reminded me of the callers from Up that let the dog speak. Anyway, this gimmick was incredibly annoying and the plot made no sense. Mads Mikkelsen was another generic villain in a wannabe blockbuster. And the worst movie I saw last year is False Positive. Hold on, I thought A24 movies were supposed to be good. This was the worst movie of 2021. It was a movie about pregnancy and the patriarchy and the A word. Asparagus. I thought this movie's worldview was disgusting and pandered to the radical feminist demographic while alienating everybody else. I really don't have a problem with the men in the story being the villains, but the leading lady, who you're supposed to sympathize with, makes just awful decisions, makes the evil men look rational. Even if you watch it uncritical of the message, it's still a terrible film. The scares are fake outs, there are plot threads that go nowhere, and the last few minutes are just so terrible. This isn't Rosemary's Baby, that's for sure. Alright kids, that's it. Thanks for watching my late list. I'll see you for some movies later. Bye.